Good morning and welcome to Enterprise Morning on Enterprise Television. I am Kende Bodun.
And I am Henry Ikwebike.
It's the start of a new day and we are so glad to have you on the show today. We will kick off with today's newspaper review before diving into our main conversation of the day. Trust me, you don't want to miss a moment with us. You can join the conversation by dropping your comments, liking and following us on all our social media platforms at Enterprise TV 7. Joining us to share the matters at hand is Barrister Tunji Abdulhamid. He is a barrister and public affairs analyst.
Good morning to you, Barrister.
Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so
You're
very
always
much,
welcome, sir.
Barrister. All right, so let's start our dailies today with the
Vanguard newspaper.
The Vanguard newspaper. All right,
Yes.
so what do we have there?
So the big story here, we have Trump, diplomatic engagement yielding results.
That's
federal government.
the federal government says.
federal
And
government.
below that we have approved duty-free importation for aircraft spare parts, and that's coming from Keamu.
Interesting. We also have all set for editors conference in Abuja today.
And also, Sanwo-Olu has said that no governor can complain of poor funding under Tinubu.
Wike soldiers biker over alleged and grabbing in Abuja.
And also, Anambra poll, Soludo deputy receives certificate of return from INEC.
Okay, we also have Tinubu's reforms winning North.
Okay, so let's get to our talking point for today and talk about what's happening in Abuja, especially the bickering. Wike soldiers bicker over alleged land grabbing in Abuja. Barrister, I'd love us to talk on that. It's a viral story. It's all over social media, and lots of people were for the military officer and against Nyesom Wike. But what's your take as a lawyer, as a barrister, especially regarding what your colleague Nyesom Wike has insinuated, that land wasn't properly documented and therefore he would not permit for building on that particular property?
Now let me start from where you stop. If a land is not properly documented and the minister is of the opinion that it's not properly documented, he has a right not to allow them to develop on the land. But it will not be at his whim and caprices. There are processes and procedures which he must follow for him to do that. So it will not be on his own term that will just come on the land and say, stop, you have no paper. No, that is not the procedure. And what you saw yesterday was because of trying to, in quote, enforce illegality by means of illegality. So you cannot enforce what you perceive as illegal by using the illegal means of doing that. Once you fail to follow due process of law, in enforcing a law, you are also engaging in illegality. So if they granted the minister by our law, just like a governor of a state, is the one vested with the authority to control and manage the lands in Abuja. But that control, amendment of the land in Abuja, does not give the minister the power to just enter anybody's land at any time, at any period we like, and the way and manner he likes. There are processes. If you believe that somebody has not done the right thing, or is not occupying the land, is occupying the land illegally, you want to take over the land from him, what you do is to give him notice to that effect. Write him and let him come and defend that allegation. If the allegation is not genuine to you, and there are grants for you to take over the land, you can issue notices, require notices to revoke the land. These notices must be served, not that you just give notice today and you say tomorrow you have to leave. No, you must give them enough notice, reasonable notice in law. And when that notices are given, and then you want to revoke, you revoke and I'm coming. Let me just.
Yeah, please.
Okay.
Let me round up so that I will conclude, so that you will not. You see, when you revoke, and by doing, when you revoke, you do a partition and gazette it. It is not within your power, and if you now gazette and you now realize that you have revoked the land, and you realize that people are still on the land, and you want to take over possession, it is not for you to go there on your own and say, we have revoked the land, we are taking it over. No, you must go to court and obtain an order. Without an order of court, you cannot enter anybody's land the way you like. That is what I want to show. So what happened yesterday was because due process of law was not followed by the minister, and that's what you see.
Okay, so let's evaluate statutory compliance. Does this situation involve breaches of property or security laws?
What do you mean by, what do you say?
Like, what I'm trying to say, does this situation involve breaches of property or security laws?
Not I have said, what I've said is that the processes of recovering land has not been followed, and that is a breach of the law regarding that. Maybe you are going to the argument of the fact that, look, people are saying, why will a military officer be guiding a property? Why will an officer be on the land illegally? Yes, let's even grant it that they were there illegally. Let's grant it that the officer the military has no role to defend property. Were they there to defend the property, or were they assigned to their oga? They are protecting the former chief of naval staff, who was told is the owner. They were protecting him. As a retired military officer, senior military officer, you are entitled to details. Certain military number of military officers who will be with you. Probably those are the people with him. And whenever he's having an issue, they have the right to protect him. So they are there to protect him. If the property had been done by the minister, this confrontation would not have happened. You see, the insecurity that you can see here is that, thank God, that military officer was so calm. It's not like some people who don't have hope. If we have seen a accidental discharge yesterday, and something has happened, what we're discussing today is what we'll be discussing. Or if one of them has the trigger and fire, and other people responded. Do you know what will happen there yesterday? They will probably be counting a dead body now. God forbid. So it is not proper for us to take laws into our hand when we say we are trying to enforce the law. The minister, as far as I'm concerned, is even ridicule and embarrass his position as minister. He embarrassed the country. He embarrassed the president. The minister has no business in confronting anybody. Even a little me should not put myself in that position to the extent that I will be shouting on ourselves publicly, calling an officer of a military officer a fool, calling him bad names. That is not normal for a minister. That is below. That is below. If that guy that's probably by calling him fool a fool too, what will happen? Probably somebody will slap the man, and then there will have the crisis. So I think the minister should behave like a minister, should grow up and act maturely like a minister. As a minister of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, you cannot behave like Archbishops and the banditries, in due respect. The minister should hold himself in candor, should work with dignity, and should not be involved in rancor of such nature. There are processes. You can even put a call across without even coming to that place. That my guys were at a particular place and they were told that you are the one that said that we should not allow us. That is not proper. That's against the law. They can resolve it with themselves, and the man can even put a call across to his boy and say, "Please leave the place."
Yeah.
We won't hear any of this because we are people. Exactly, the minister is given to impunity, doing things at his own will and caprices, thinking everybody will bow down whenever he's trying to do anything. I'm not aware of any law which gives anybody the power, whether a minister or governor, even the president, to demolish or take over anybody's land without a court order. If we have a system that is working, that is not possible. Even the president has no power to do such. There must be a court order. If you cannot obtain the Ankara court order in court, there must be a court order that you rely on. It's not just on your own thinking. You cannot be an accuser, a judge, and a executor. That's not how our system works. You allege somebody of not having a paper. You are the one concluding that he does not have a paper. You are the one judging the case. You are the one executing it. Is that the system? There's no fair hearing in that. And that's contrary to our constitution. So for me, we should learn to obey law and act in line with the law. If we are acting in line with the law, we will not experience this kind of embarrassing situation.
Very true, Barrister. And one would wonder why the fracas still exists within the ranks and file of the PDP, because what someone behaves like is equal to what you would think he would do if given another opportunity. And it's actually not a very good thing, and I hope that the president would see to it if he has the spine to see to it. And we have other growing matters, Barrister. Let's talk about no governor can complain or pour funding under Tinubu, and that's coming from his godson, Sanwo-Olu. What's your take on this, Barrister?
Poor funding, funding from who?
From the president. That no governor in Nigeria can complain of poor funding under Tinubu. And that's coming from his godson, Sanwo-Olu.
I have a query. I'm concerned about that adjective. They presented it as if the president is using his personal money to fund the state. It's not the president's money, it's our money. So that particular adjective, or the way I managed that headline was captured, I have an issue with it. So the complaint from the or maybe probably that was what the governor said, looking at it as if the money is from the president's pocket. It's our money, and there's entitlement to all states to have their allocation. So if the country is getting more money, the state should get more money. But is it true that they are getting more money? Yeah, I would say they are getting more money in figure. They are getting, if you look at the figure compared to the figure they have been getting before now, you will say they are getting more money. Can we really call that a more money or big money? For me, the answer is no, because the value of that money they call big money today or more money today, it cannot do what little money of 3 years ago would do. And that is why you see some of the governors not be able to meet their targets or not be able to do much. I'm not giving excuses to them, but that's one of the reasons why they are not doing much, even though they don't want to do anything before. So I agree that they are getting more money from the state allocation, from the federal allocation, but the money they are getting, what is the value compared to what they are getting 2 years ago? Because if you look at 10 million naira of 3 years ago, which were other million naira of today, I tell you, say the 10 million naira is equal to, or almost equal to that 100 million naira. Because a car, if, for example, now let's just go, if a governor is to buy a car 3 years ago, a car 3 or 4 years ago, that car may likely go for 10 million naira. That same car today may be 70 or 80 or 100 million naira or more. So is that enough? Is that more money? So a money that can be used to buy like 10 cars 3 years ago can only buy 1 or 2 this year. So what are we talking about? So we can be deceiving ourselves if we are looking at the figure, that the figure is now high. But let's also look at the value of the figure that we're looking at and see whether or not that figure will do more than what that little figure a few years ago are doing. That's my response.
Okay, so now, Barrister, are there risks of political tension among governors?
Risk of political tension? How? With political tension? How? Like what we call the tension? Is it for them to come? They are all planning their games, and they are all moving to where they think they will be covered. And that's why you see some of the governors in the PDP and other parties are trying to move to APC, believing that being a member of APC guarantee your success or political success. So if there's going to be any political, what do you call it again?
Political tensions. Political tensions.
The political tensions.
Yeah.
During the election that must be taken in our land, when there's political elective election is coming, you see people doing one thing or the other that will create tension. So that's not new in our system, where you see people trying to, and that's what you see in PDP now. When you see these different camps and different orders from different courts, that is the tension you are talking about. That's political tension towards the next 2027 election. So it should be expected. It is normal in our own system.
All right, Barrister, let's look at the Daily Trust newspaper, straight on to the big story. No going back on convention, and that's coming from PDP. Speak to us. What's happening currently with the PDP? We learned that another court in Abuja had nullified what the court in Oyo had made possible. Help us make sense of all of these proceedings, especially now that it is rested on the table of our courts.
The court in Abuja did not nullify what the judgment at the order in Oyo. He gave his own order So they are not the same case. If they are, you can just always say it nullify it when if it's the same case they have been taken to Abuja. So this is a different case in Abuja, and they have given a different decision. They have given an order different from what has been given in Oyo. So I will not align. I'm not align with that adjective of nullifying the order in Oyo State. No, there's no nullification here. They only gave a different order. You know, we are shopping for orders differently now in Nigeria. As it is today now, we have 3 different orders. We have one obtained weeks ago by Ayan Wanko. We have another one obtained in Ibadan. And we have another one yesterday by, what's it called? Alhaji Sule Lamido. And I'm telling you, probably today, there will be another order from Ibadan. So what you are seeing is people showing their capacity, showing their power. And that is the basis of the fight, or the cross of the fight, or disagreement in PDP. Control of the soul of the party. People want to control it, not because they love the country, not because they love the party, but because that will put them in a position to negotiate for their own personal gain. There is a minister who's currently, and who has openly declared that his support is for the current president. So, and what is he selling to the current president? The membership of the PDP and the way and manner and what is carrying out in PDP. So, if the PDP is settled today, that business is gone. It may not be relevant to the APC government because there is nothing to buy from him again. Those other sides are trying to see how they can also be in control, so that they will also be able to negotiate and get whatever they want to get, probably from the current government or from other places. But I'm telling you, it is not for the interest. They are not the fight. It's not because of the interest of the party. It's because of the personal gain and power of the control of the party for their own personal benefits. So you see, I will not blame the court here. Only that the court is being allowed. The only blame I will give the court is that they are allowing themselves to be used by the politicians, because a situation whereby an ex parte order has been granted, when a court is aware that a similar order has been granted differently from another court, a court of coordinate jurisdiction, it does not go well.
So who is to check, Barrister? Who is to check? Who is to check all of this confusion? Because this arm fight between different courts of competent jurisdictions, I do not know. You read law. You're a lawyer. Is it normal? Is that what is taught in law school? Who checks that all of this confusion would stop? Because this is not what we should see in a civilized society.
We have NGC who to checkmate or control, supervise the activities of the judges and discipline them where necessary. But what we see in our system, we have a system that is not working. We have a system that the people in authority will sit down and fold their hands and say, look, we have not been informed. They are aware, they are seeing it, but they'll be waiting for an official letter or official communication before they do anything. Rather than take steps to prevent more damage, they will just fold their hands and wait. And even when that is given to them, because of their sentiment and bias, in quotes, they may not do much. So the point is that people who are doing this wrong act are not being punished or adequately punished. If the judge has been punished for doing the wrong thing in the past, I'm not saying judges have not been punished, but it's not adequate, it's not enough, and it's not constant, it's not prompt. When you have prompt a response to illegality or to wrongdoing, and people are being adequately punished, other people will be wary to go into it again. But because those who have done it in the past have gone away with it, and some of them sometimes, even if they want to punish them, they will give them a soft landing by saying they are sending them on retirement, and thereafter will not be charged to any court, or they will not even be asked to drop anything. So that is the situation we have here. We have a system that is not working, and that's what you are seeing here. The convention will go ahead because those who are bent on doing the convention have their mindsets made up. No matter what order that you bring, they are ready to go on, and they made up my mind that we are going on. But my worry is that the going on is not an issue for me. The likely outcome or consequences thereafter is a problem. I bearing in mind that I am aware of what happened in Plateau State. I'm aware of what happened in River State. I'm aware of what happened in Zamfara State, wherein the court has given an order, and they went ahead, contrary to the order of the court, to continue what they were doing. And after the election, but the court overturned everything and take it away from them. So I just owe those who are bent of going ahead with the convention will think that consequences before moving ahead and say, because everybody is showing power. There's no way they will not go ahead, because they're not going ahead will mean that they will believe that somebody has won. And so for them to say that, look, you have not won, we must do our confession, whether rightly or wrongly.
Very well said. Of course, let's just see how that works. Yes.
There may likely be another court judgment today from Oyo, because that Oyo case where another was giving expertise, I think is coming up today for hearing. And I will not expect anything less than the court confirming that they should go ahead and continue their convention, because you cannot take yourself to court and get different results. Yeah. The person who took the matter to court sued those who are interested in continuing with the convention. So what would they say anything different? Damagu Damagu, the chairman, is in support of going ahead with convention. The Fintiri is the chairman of the convention committee or whatever, is in support of going ahead with convention. And these are the people that were sued, that were taken to court in Ibadan. So do you expect anything different from getting the right results in that court? So probably today you will hear another good news or good order asking them to go ahead with their convention as scheduled.
All right, that's well
I'm putting
said.
my hand.
Yes, very well said. Of course, it's a developing story. We will bring that to you right here on Enterprise Television as it unfolds. Barrister will still be here to take us on our main conversation. That is when we return. Federal government says a dialogue with U.S. is helping to ease tensions and build understanding. In a bit, still Enterprise Morning. Don't go anywhere.
We'll be right back.
Thank you so very much for joining us, and this is still Enterprise Morning, reaching you from Enterprise Television. Let's head straight to our conversation for today. The federal government says ongoing diplomatic talks between Nigeria and the United States of America are yielding positive results in easing recent tensions. Minister of Information Mohammed Idris said on Sky News that both countries have opened the communication channels leading to a better understanding of Nigeria's internal challenges. He added that intelligence report revealed links between a proscribed separatist group and US-based lobbyists spreading misleading narratives about Nigeria.
Very true. Reaffirming Nigeria's partnership with the US in fighting terrorism, Idris said the nation remains committed to religious freedom and that its conflicts are not driven by religion. Meanwhile, the Secretary of the Diocese for Evangelization at the Vatican, Archbishop Fortunatus Nwachukwu, blamed Nigeria's insecurity on internal divisions and tolerance.
All right, so let's get talking. We still have Barrister with us. Thank you so very much, Barrister Tunji, for hanging on.
Thank you for having me. It's my pleasure to be with you.
All right, the Barrister, let's get talking. The Minister of Information, Mohammed Idris, said, according to him, that the misleading information that led to Nigeria being designated CPC was as a result of a separatist group that is working with lobbyists in America. And we know the separatist group he's talking about, and that is IPOB. I do not know. Do you think we should be focusing on all of those things than going on to the most important message, which is that insecurity is ravaging Nigeria? Just yesterday, Bandits went to Katsina and killed about 2 persons there and ravaged the whole of that place. The Lake Chad region, we have Boko Haram and ISWAP fighting their way who should control the Lake Chad, while our military architecture and other security agencies are there watching like spectators. So do you think all of this by the minister is just, doing things that shouldn't be talked about? What's your take, please?
You are not new to Nigerian government. Nigerian government, they must have a way of passing the ball or shifting blame to other people for their failures. There is no doubt that there is a failure of security in Nigeria. There is no doubt that the government have not done enough in terms of ensuring security of life and property of the people of Nigeria. There is no doubt that people have been killed in Nigeria, Muslim and Christian. So those issues are not, even if there is been orchestrated by somebody, are those facts not available? In other words, are there no killings in Nigeria? Are there no insecurity in Nigeria? Are Muslim or Christian not being killed in Nigeria? So it is immaterial if that is orchestrated or that is a sort of incitement by certain people. I think what the government needs to do is to work harder and ensure that security in the country. And I like the fact that the government is engaging the government now. They are engaging the U.S. government. They are not trying to do confrontational approach, even though we don't even have the power. So they know our level. So it's good that they are engaging the government. If you have done this before now, when the issue came up, if we have done this engagement, if we have gone to present our own case, they will not be getting wrong information as claimed by the government. We'll have straightened up the information for them. But we ignore it. We fold our hands and see it as politics. But when they now see the real threat, they are now running eta-sketa. We don't have, you can see they are now trying to appoint those who are supposed to have been appointed before now, the ambassador and the member and the likes are now being considered for appointment. So they were not doing the right thing. Has been the reason why this is happening, even if the people are giving them the wrong information. Who is to give them the right information? They are not available. They are not available to give the right information. So they make do with what they have when you are not giving the right information. So the government should wake up. Thank God the threat by Trump has waking them up in terms of engagement, because I've not seen the much action regarding providing the security that we're talking about. What they are doing now is just running a task to disprove the mind of the US of Trump and the US people that we are not what you say is not correct. I also don't believe or agree with the fact that what the Trump said, they are killing Christians. That for me, I will not accept it. And that for me shows that even the US are partial in the sense that they are not looking at the issue generally. They are trying to just, in fact, they said it clearly, we will not wait, we will protect our Christian brothers. So our Muslim brothers in Nigeria not worthy of being protected? Our Muslim brothers in Nigeria not a human being? So that particular angle from the US is what I query. They must have made, if that is coming from Nigeria, it is the US that will come and say we are discriminating, or we are not doing the right thing. But it's coming from the US, from Trump and US senators. For me, that is the only area I disagree. But the other area, as regarding insecurity, I totally agree with them. There are insecurity. I also agree that with our minister, that there are a lot of misinformation in the US and on the board. And this misinformation is due to lack of understanding of certain things. Imagine, for instance, the issue of blaming Sharia for the crisis. You see, the adjective Sharia, Sharia means law. That is the meaning. Sharia is not something different from what we see in Nigeria as customary law. What we call customary law in Lagos.
All right, I think we just lost Barrister there, and of course we will get back to him as he rejoins us, and of course again talking. So Barrister was speaking to the issue of what the president of the United States had talked about, and of course he made sense that the problem at hand is not just related to killings of the Christians, but killings of Nigerians, which should be stopped, no matter whose ox is God. But what's your take, really, on the fact that the administration of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu think that shifting blames to people that shouldn't even be talked about is the solution to the problem?
Okay, what do you mean, like shifting blames?
Like the Minister of Information said that the reason why this came up in the first place was because of a separatist group that is working with the US to ensure that Nigeria is given a bad name. But if you have a bad name, you have a bad name. You can't rub that away. You can't clean that away. Nigeria has a bad name. Yes, because did you watch the viral video of did you watch the viral video of those that were kidnapped along Ibadan? Okay,
that a guy escaped and was sharing the story of how he escaped and how they, intruded their when they were. I think it was around Kogi.
Okay.
Yes, not Ibadan. It was that Kogi road.
Right, so I just learned that Barrister is back. So Barrister, thank you so very much for joining us. Sorry for the inconvenience and the loss of communication. So you were speaking to an issue just before we lost you.
The glitch, and it's normal.
Yes. So, Barrister, you were speaking to some issues, and I would love you to finish your
thought on that. That they also raised the issue of Sharia in the north. That is a cause for worry. As far as I say, look, that has been an issue because of lack of understanding of what Sharia is all about. Sharia is a law, just like what we have in Lagos State. We say customary law. Sharia is like a customary law. What they call Sharia in the north is like what we call customary law in Lagos or in Ekiti. So it's just the same thing. It's just an adjective. And the crisis that is coming out of people being killed in the name of Sharia is not Sharia that is killing them. It is like a hoodlum who will say somebody has been accused of stealing, and they put tire on his neck in Lagos, for instance. Say thief, they put tire and they burn him. That is what you see in the north. When you see people accused of somebody of blasphemy and they kill him, it is not the law that says go and kill him. There's no court that do your research and give me 10 order of courts where people have been asked to go and be killed because they contravene Sharia law in the north. Go check that, check it, and give me orders or judgment of courts where people have been asked to go and be killed because of Sharia law. It is hoodlums, people who are taking laws into their hands, and that cannot be attributed to the law itself. That is happening in other places. And I've given an example in Lagos. In so many, they keep people on the allegation of stealing by jungle justice. So we need to correct this impression and make it not look like a particular religion is the one causing crisis. No, I'm not saying people are not being attributed to certain parties. The fact that somebody is bearing Mohammed or somebody is bearing Ibrahim does not mean it's acting on behalf of Muslims. Does not mean the Muslims are the ones saying go and kill people or go and kill Christians. And in any event, I even know that in Jos or in some parts of the country, you see somebody bearing Mohammed and Ibrahim, and he's a Christian. So bearing Mohammed or Ibrahim is not a guarantee that you're a Muslim. And shouting Allah Akbar does not mean you are fighting for Islam. Because I even see them when they keep people in the mosque. You do not see them shout Allah Akbar.
Very true.
They keep people and they were shouting Allah Akbar. So it's how can you attribute that killing to Muslim killing Christian? So you say terrorists are causing harm and the government should deal with it. That would deal with anybody than you saying we not agree that they should be that they are killing Christians. You are making it like a sentimental issue and you are trying to divide us in the line of religion. Trying to see Muslim as a killer of Christians, or trying to see Christians as killers of Muslims. That's what they are trying to portray, and we should be careful not to follow that track or fall into that trap. Because we are one and we have been living together for long as Muslim and Christian. When I went to a Christian school, Catholic for that matter, in my secondary school, I did Bible year 1 to my final year. So what are we talking about? So it's not something. Religion does not even change anybody. What does it matter if I'm a Muslim, you're a Christian? So should Christian be killed and I'll be happy? Should Muslim be killed and I'll be happy because I'm a Muslim? And they are killing Christian, I will say I'm happy because I'm a Muslim. What does it benefit me? A Muslim can become Christian tomorrow. A Christian can become Muslim tomorrow. So why should we be fighting over some people? I'm a Muslim today, not because I try to be a Muslim. I was born into it. It wasn't my own making. I say I want to be Muslim. And I believe you too. It's not because you are not the one who decided that you want to be Christian. It was because you are born into it. Only few people have changed their religion based on their maturity. Say, I'm not of age, and I know where to go. This is where I want to go. There are only few people. Majority of us were born into it. So if we are fighting over what we don't have control over, if God wants all of us to be Muslim or Christian, we will be.
Yeah.
So why should we be fighting over Christian, Muslim, or where you come from or where I come from? So, and I see that adjective or that correlation by the Trump and US as trying to divide us and pitch us against ourselves, and we should not fall into it for it. That was the area I agree with them that there is insecurity in Nigeria. I agree with them that the Nigerian government is not doing enough, and the Nigerian government should wake up and do the right thing. But I do not also agree with people who are saying they should come and sanction us. When they put us sanction on us, economic sanction, for instance, who will suffer it? Nigerians, not those in government. I'm telling you, those in government have made enough money to go and live somewhere else and then enjoy themselves. The masses of Nigeria will suffer the economic sanction, if any, is imposed on us. The only one that will affect them, even if they say they're not going to borrow us money, it will not affect them directly. It is us that will affect. The little way they will be getting it from the country in terms of tax will be shared by them, and they'll be using it to enjoy themselves. So we should not just follow this track of, yes, the government, we need help. Do we require US to come and help us? Yes. But I do not subscribe to a situation whereby the US will impose on themselves the authority to police us in our country without our permission, without our authority. They coming into country, Nigeria, must be with the authority of the government of Nigeria. They must engage and understand themselves and know how the help will work. Not that they will just say on their own, we are coming. Yes, people will say, maybe they are coming to pick terrorists. Yes, they are coming to pick terrorists. But they are coming to pick terrorists inside our country. If you allow them to come and pick terrorists inside our country, one day they will come and say, we want to come and carry up oil on our home without your permission. And then nothing will happen. So if you say, because you think people, no, there are things are processes. We cannot go to the US and say we want to go and command them as to how to, and say we want to take action against what they are not doing. They can come, they can help us. We need help. The government needs help, and the government will agree to that. But there must be understanding, mutual understanding between the government and the US in carrying out whatever step they want to carry out. That's my take.
Yeah.
Okay. From what you said, sir, do you think the government will really actually, would embrace or would allow the US, give that? Do you think the government here in Nigeria will allow US to come in, and even if we're having this political talk, do you think the government will give in, like Nigerian government will give in?
If they know they are coming to airports and there are mutual understanding between them, they will give them opportunity to come in. If they are understanding, mutual understanding, they will definitely, if they truly need help, if they truly want help, and if they truly have the interest of the country and they want to ensure security of the people, life of people of Nigeria, they will see to that. If they see it genuinely and if it's open to them, not that they will be in secrecy and the government of the US will be doing whatever they want to do without our government knowing about it.
Okay, thank you. Just
right.
also, I want. Okay,
yes,
there is one from what Archbishop Nwachukwu highlighted. Do you think it's going to affect Nigeria's international image?
What did he highlight?
What from what he said? If the U.S. government and the Nigerian government comes together and bring more like peace to this genocide, do you think it is going to affect Nigeria's international image?
If you are bringing peace, if there is peace, what it will affect us if we are able to bring peace into the country? That will not affect us negatively. It will be positive because if we are not able to bring peace and we are killing ourselves again, or the government is allowing terrorists or certain people to kill Nigerians, that's when it will become an issue for us. So the government should ensure that, look, Nigerians are not being killed. People are being killed. In my state recently, Kwara State, people are being killed. They kill them. They don't have Muslim or Christian there. People are killed in mosques recently in Nasarawa. In Kashina. People are killed in Plateau State. People are killed in church or churches. So the people are being killed. That is the truth. That is the fact. And the government must wake up to its responsibility as provided by the law.
All right, Barrister, let's speak to the issue of complicity at this point. We have seen insurgents, bandits, terrorists captured by Nigerian military after so much task doing that. And when the court, of course, wants to carry out what the court knows how to do, we end up seeing these terrorists being asked for de-radicalization. And we de-radicalize them, the so-called de-radicalization scheme. We give them money to start up their businesses and to help themselves, while the victims of their callousness are somewhere in IDP camps. And also, most recently, there was a protest in Kano, where one of the clerics said that the United States should not come to Nigeria because the bandits are their brothers, their fathers, their uncles. So, speaking to the issue of complicity, do you think we really know what the problem is, but we all pretend not to solve it because most of these people are our brothers, our sisters, our relatives?
No, don't say we all pretend. Say some people pretended, not us, not all. You cannot generalize it. And that's the problem we're having in the country. We generalize everything. Because one man who is a Muslim or who's from the north decide to support activity of terrorism doesn't mean all the northerners or all the Muslims are in support of it. There are compromise, yes. There are a lot of compromise. Even the government is not immune from this compromise. And I want to also correct you. When you say the courts, how many criminals or terrorists have been taken to court and the court said go and radicalize them? I'm not aware of any. It is the government policy, not courts. It is the government that and I've on so many occasions condemned that attitude of government trying to give terrorists soft landing by giving them scholarship, by saying you are radicalizing them, by saying you want to bring them back into society, by encouraging them to do more. When people who have been displaced by whose families' life have been taken are in a place called IDP, it will encourage more crime. So to that extent, the government has compromised. So the compromise is everywhere. Compromise on the part of the government, compromise on the part of the people, and compromise on the part of those who are supposed to even fight those who are committing the crime. So there is compromise everywhere. That's not in doubt. And as long as we continue to pamper these people who are committing crime, as long as people like opinion of Sheikh Gumi is being considered in that regard, we will continue to lose the track. There are few people who are sympathetic to them, probably because they have one connection or the other, but that does not mean that their own position is the position of everybody who is in that, who shares a similar religious view with them, religious collaboration with them. So it is not correct to say that the court, doing what they know how to do best. No, the court I'm not aware that the court has given an order to say go and radicalize them. I'm not aware of that. It's government policy, and that policy is not good enough for us. It's encouraging criminality. The government should not encourage criminality by trying to pamper those who are committing crime in the name of terrorists or bandits or whatever they call themselves. So the government should fight them. We are not taking the fight to them. That has been the problem. We have been lackadaisical. And you see, and when people also talk about they are trying to Islamize Nigeria, how can it be possible? Is it under, for instance, under this president that he is a Muslim and the wife is a pastor? Is it under this government when even before now it has always been like that? When the Senate president is a Christian, the speaker is a Christian or Muslim sometimes. Is that the member of the National Assembly? Some of them are Christian, some of them are Muslim, some of them are idol, whatever they worship. And you say, and somebody will come and even a professor will come and say, yes, they are trying to Islamize Nigeria. How is it possible? Some people will come and say, do you not see that Elias Aribu was not released because she refused to join Islam? How can it be possible? If Elias Aribu was asked to join Islam and he decided to say, I agree, and it's left off the hook, when he comes back to Nigeria, we will not continue his practice of Christianity. And people are now selling fake stories to us, and we are buying it. And we are trying to divide ourselves in the name of religion. So for me, the government is compromised. That is the truth. The people of Nigeria are compromised. Those who are supposed to do the job are compromised. Even the journalists, even the media are compromised. Because sometimes things that they're supposed to report, they keep it because they've been given a envelope. I'm not saying all of you. I'm just showing some media are compromised. In other words, almost all Nigerians are part of Nigeria. Everybody has his role. Government, Nigerians, religious leaders, and we are all part of the rot, and we need to also change our attitude to be able to get it right.
Very well said, Barrister. The hard truth still remains that all of these things have a negative impact on our economy. There used to be a time, Barrister, in the 80s, 70s, when traveling was a love for lots of people. They love to travel. People can, on their own, just travel from Lagos to Maiduguri, from Lagos to Yola, to Enugu, to wherever it is they want to go. And as they travel, they can, on their own, just, burge into any village and
just relax
there, know the culture, know the tradition, know the fate of the people, and enjoy themselves. But today, traveling is a risky business.
Seriously.
Especially when you saw the viral video I was talking to you about.
Yes, the one that happened along
Kogi and all
in fact, the guy was even like, it was just like, he would have been a dead person if not. And he said he followed his heart. It was like when he noticed that those people were coming, they had to attack immediately. So he said he doesn't even know how he even got out. He doesn't even know, but he just knew that something happened. And he said I shake, like I was fidgeting, like he's shaking.
Well, that is just to tell you how bad, and this is truly affecting our tourism ecosystem. Yes.
Yeah, I said you are right. Because I schooled in Maiduguri, and whenever I was going to Abuja at that time, we travel in the day and the night. Because Maiduguri is a 24-hour journey.
Yeah.
Because I know most of the places in the north through my journey to Maiduguri. So I have been to almost all the states. In that time, we travel in the night. We don't care.
Yeah.
We travel you get to Kano Park. 12 a.m. or 11 p.m. in the night. You enter flight going to Maiduguri that will land you in the morning in Maiduguri. There's no fear of any attack. We enjoy ourselves. We buy things on the road. So for me, it's unfortunate that those things are no longer there. It's rubbing on our economy, just like you said. It's not rubbing on our existence and even our enjoyment in life.
Very true, Barrister. Thank you so very much. We truly do appreciate your time.
Thank you.